Hello, everyone. Welcome. We will wait a few moments and allow people time to join us. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, everyone. All right, I think we are officially going to get started. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hawk Mountain Sanctuary's Stay-at-Home Speaker Series. Today's program is Mississippi Kite Migration in Colombia with the amazing Esther Vallejo, who is an amazing raptor conservation powerhouse herself. Welcome, Esther.
Hi, thank you very much for inviting me.
Oh, our pleasure. Thank you for joining us. Hello everyone, and my name is Jamie Dawson, and I'm the Director of Education at Hawk Mountain Sanctuary. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you are unaware, Hawk Mountain is the world's very first refuge for birds of prey, and we continue to work hard to be leaders in raptor conservation, science, and education, locally and globally. Hawk Mountain is a private nonprofit, and membership is the lifeblood of our organization. To all of our members out there, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for all of your support. And if you're joining us today and you're not a member, we like you too, and we hope that you consider becoming a member in the future. We are so excited to offer our local and global community a variety of free virtual programming. But as always, Hawk Mountain greatly appreciates and depends on donations. Just so everyone is aware, today's program is being recorded. The video will then be accessible on Hawk Mountain's YouTube channel as a continued resource. We also have a link on our website directly connecting you to our YouTube channel. At any point during the program, viewers may submit their questions through the Q&A feature on the Zoom platform, and we've designated some time at the end of the program to take questions from the audience. And we are so excited that Esther Vallejo is joining us today all the way from Spain to share with us some fascinating discoveries she has made about the Mississippi kites in Colombia. And before we go further, I'd like to take a moment and share some of Esther's amazing background experience with our audience. So, Esther is a biologist from Universidad del Valle with experience in wildlife management, conservation, consulting, and environmental education with a focus on birds. She is currently finishing her master's in habitat conservation. Esther initiated not one, but two new raptor count sites in Colombia and serves as the project coordinator for Conservación de Rapaces Migradores, Colombia, or in English, Conserving Migrating Raptors, Colombia. She founded and serves as the director of Tropicos Colombia. And as if that wasn't enough, Esther also serves on the board of Humana. Esther, your experience is amazing, and your passion for raptor conservation is so inspiring. Can you share with the audience a little bit about your connection to Hawk Mountain?
Thank you, Jamie. Yes, of course. I'm a former trainee of Hawk Mountain. In 2019, I had the privilege to be part of the conservation science traineeship, where I gained experience and insight about raptor migration and conservation techniques. So the knowledge and skills I acquired through the association with Hawk Mountain Sanctuary have been very important in our efforts in Colombia. So that was because actually I create and did the proposal there at Hawk Mountain. So the sanctuary has inspired and guided our initiatives in Colombia. And I'm very grateful for the ongoing support and expertise that Hawk Mountain continue providing to us.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I'd love for you to tell us a little bit more about your organization, Tropicos Colombia. What's it all about, number one, and what inspired you to create it?
Okay, well, actually, Tropicos Colombia started because of the project Conserving Migrating Raptors in Colombia, because I need be able to manage this raptor conservation project in some certain way. So that's why this led to the creation of the organization. And Tropicos Colombia is a nonprofit organization dedicated to the research, the conservation, and education about tropical ecosystems. And right now we have this particular focus on raptor species. And Well, the idea is to foster a deeper understanding, appreciation of the natural world, and also to empower local communities to take active role in conservation efforts in their lands.
That's awesome. It's so amazing. And for everyone out there watching and listening, if you want to support this organization, which is an amazing organization with huge impact, you can. We have information, a link we'll send out through the Ticket Leap email blast after the program with a link where you can donate and have a direct impact. All right, Esther, I'm going to turn it over to you, and we are excited to learn more about what's going on with the Mississippi kites in Colombia.
Okay, great. Let me share my screen. Please let me know if you can see it.
I can see it. Yes, perfect.
Okay, awesome. So good afternoon, everyone, once again. I'm thrilled to have you all here today for a truly special presentation because for the first time, I'm going to share in a webinar this very interesting information about Mississippi kite migration in Colombia. So by the end of this webinar, you're going to have a better understanding and appreciation for the Mississippi kites migration and the efforts needed to support their journey. So I'm very excited to share these insights with you. So let's get started. I would like to start telling you a little bit about Mississippi kites in general. Well, they are small and elegant raptors with very distinctive features. The adult kites have a smooth gray plumage with darker wings and a paler head, and the juvenile mottled brown and white plumage. And we can see that in this photo here. We can see the adult and the juvenile. Okay, so they have long pointed wings and a square tail, which aid in their agile flight. They are incredible aerial acrobats. They glide through the air with graceful twists and turns as they catch flying insects. So they have this very different flight style and foraging behavior that is very distinctive of this species. And they are highly skilled aerial hunters. They primarily feed on insects, which they catch in the middle of the flight, like we can see here in this photo. But also they occasionally consume other prey, as small vertebrates and like frogs, lizards, and birds. These hunting skills give them a very fluid and, as I was saying, elegant flight that is a marvel to observe, but this is not a very easy species to count because they are moving around. It's very hard, but very beautiful. Okay, and speaking about the distribution of this species, they are a long-distance migrants, full migrants, and during the breeding season, they are commonly found in central and southeastern United States, particularly in areas with open woodlands, river valleys, and fields. In the fall, these birds undertake a migratory journey to their wintering grounds in South America, especially in Argentina, Paraguay, and Brazil. And as you can see here on the map, in yellow are the breeding areas, and in blue, the wintering grounds. And in green, we have the migration route. So Colombia, as you can see, is part of this migration route that is right here. Okay, so let's see in a deeper way the map of Colombia. Here's the Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, and here we have the connection with Central and North America. So something very interesting happened when we are in Colombia and with the Andes. This mountain is split in 3 different mountain ranges. So you can find here the Western Andes, the Central Andes, and the Eastern Andes. And between Central and Eastern Andes, we are going to find the Magdalena River Valley. Let's try to have that in mind because this is going to be part of this explication about the migration of Mississippi kites. So now let's talk about the specific information that we have for Colombia. So most of the migration has been carried out in northwestern Colombia, as you can see here in this little map. And this is because, as I was saying, here is the connection to Central and North America. So the migrating raptors are moving around this Mesoamerican land corridor. So this is a very strategic place to take this kind of information. So first we have this research of 5 years of spring and autumn. And the authors just could find one individual of Mississippi kite in 5 years. So this is a very interesting information. Next, in 2008, between spring and fall, I mean the whole year, this author found around 600 individuals of Mississippi kite in this area that is part of central Colombia. And let's remember the mountain ranges. This is in the eastern Andes. So the other one, the last one, actually, is this one that was carried out right in the border with Panama. And as we can see in 2011, in the fall, they have around 100 individuals, very similar to the spring of 2012, 70 individuals. But for the fall, we can notice that they had almost 2,000 individuals of Mississippi kites. The authors point out that perhaps the Mississippi kites count was the most notable in their research because counts of this species in South America are rare outside of Bolivia. And they mention that because actually there is a research of Bolivia that where the migration average is around 132,000 individuals. So we can see the difference here between the migration of Bolivia and Colombia. And again, the migration in Bolivia is around 132,000 individuals against 4,000 in Colombia. So, and this is the biggest number we have in the literature. And I'm just including here all the research that is have migration counts, has more monitoring for the studies. So now let's focus on the data we have been collecting. This data were collected as part of the project Conserving Migrating Raptors in Colombia. And it was started because it's a strategic area, as we already said. Colombia have this very important position, not just for the connection to Colombia, but just to the whole continent, to South America. Also because we don't have many information about it. As you can notice, we don't have many counts, so more information is needed. And also because Colombia harbors some of the top human threats to raptors, has illegal hunting. And that's why this project started. So how the objectives were identified to counting sites, collect roosting and hunted sites data, strengthen education, promote tourism, and train the locals in raptor ID. So as part of this project, we create these 2 count sites. They are official count sites in Colombia, included in the Hawk Migration Association of North American Network. So if you want to explore the information, the daily data, you could do it on the hawkcount.org website. So we have Tolima Raptor Count and Iguacitos Tolima. Tolima Raptor Count is right here. I don't know if you can notice this brownish area. They are mountains. So Tolima Raptor Count is right there, but the count site is not in the mountains, but still in a very flat area. And you can see this picture here of the campsite, but very close to the central Andes, okay? And we are focused in the spring migration in this area, and this is because for this place, they have been having problems with illegal hunting, but exclusively on the spring migration. So that's why we try to like gather everything together, like the education, the outreach, and also having this data. So that's why we have this effort just for the spring in Tolima raptor count. In the case of Iguacitos, Tolima, as you can see, is located further north in Tolima, and is in this green area that is a valley. This is the Magdalena River Valley that I told you about before in the map. And this area is for autumn migration, and we have just one spring migration. So I can tell you by now that Iguacitos, Tolima was this special place with the large numbers of Mississippi kites. But let's get started with Tolima raptor count. We started in spring 2020, and as you can see, we don't have any major numbers here. The average of the Mississippi kites were 40 per season, but we have different data here for 2024, for this year. We have more than 1,500 individuals for the season. That was very different and unusual for the count site. And actually, I can tell you that the whole season was very odd because we have an average of around 500,000 individuals for the count site. But for this year, we didn't even reach the 200,000 individuals. So was a very low number, very different behavior. So very interesting. But for the case of the Mississippi kites was different. We have a bigger number than in the past years. Also, a very interesting thing is that we don't find any defined peak of migration with these numbers here. Okay, so we already know that we have Tolima raptor count for the spring, but also for the autumn, we have been doing a kind of scouting and also full seasons in other areas of the country. And for example, for autumn 2020, we work on Antioquia, that is further north than Tolima raptor count. Tolima raptor count is located here where it says Ibagué. So the place in autumn 2020 was further north, and we found more than 1,000 individuals of Mississippi kites for this place. So as you can see, well, it's also, well, it's not that big number, but let's remember that the biggest number for Colombia till the moment was 4,000. So it's not that bad, right? And for the autumn 2021, we moved to Cundinamarca. Cundinamarca is located in the Eastern Andes. And for the Eastern Andes, we found more than 12,000 individuals of Mississippi kites. So we quickly changed the numbers. It started with just 40 and then 1,000, and now we have 12,000, and now, well, surpassing the biggest numbers for the country. And as I was saying, okay, this was autumns for 2020 and 2021, but also for 2021, we had exploration in the Magdalena River Valley, and these are the results for this area. More than 72,000 individuals for a single season. And actually not even for a single season, because this was just scouting, as I was saying. So it was around 3 weeks of observation. So in 3 weeks, we were able to find this amazing amount of Mississippi kites. So once again, from 40, 1,000, 12,000, and now we have 72,000 of individuals. So once again, it should be noted that this is the first time we have recorded such a large number of species during the 2 years of the project, but also for the country. And so with this, we thought that probably this species migrates through the valley, so it wasn't detected before in the previous counting areas. But that was a question, like what happened, for example, with spring? We already have really big numbers in the scouting of 2021 with more than 72 individuals in the autumn, but how is the spring? It should be, if the migration is moving through this valley, should be also a large number, right? So we have just 900, more than 900. It's still a very good number comparing with all the previous studies, but thinking in the 72,000, well, it's pretty different. So we could think that those 71,000 missing are moving around for another area, right? For that season, the spring 2022, we have a peak of migration in early March. So now again, we have the scouting in autumn and the full spring in 2022, but what happens if we have the autumn, the full season? So we did that for 2022 and 2023. And these are the results. More than 300,000 individuals. So that's huge. I've been guiding you with all the figures here, but let me tell you that, for example, I was telling you that for Bolivia, the biggest number was around 132 in average. So this is 3 times that. And also, I would like to mention that in Veracruz River of Raptors, they found in 2002 more than 300,000 kites, pretty similar to these numbers. But let's take in count that this was the maximum number for this count site. And this is the count site with the greatest number in the world. So the average number of Mississippi kites for them is around 155,000 individuals per season. So as you can see, these are really, really interesting numbers. And another interesting thing that we found was that the migration was like located on September and early October. So let's take a look of this graphic in this part of the whole September until mid-October. And we can find here in blue the year 2022. And you can find that it's very different each day, but at the end we have a peak of migration in September 23 with more than 55,000 individuals for that single day. And for the 2023, we have this line in orange, also very different days, but we have also a defined peak of migration in September 15 with more than 61,000 individuals in a single day. So this is huge for a single day. And also I would like to mention that Mississippi kite is the most abundant species, surpassing the swinsons and broadwing hawks in this season, I mean the autumn, in Iguacitos, Tolima. In the case, for example, of Tolima raptor count in spring, we have the greatest number are from swinsons and broadwing hawks, and they form like the 97% of the individuals and of the whole abundance of individuals. So this is very different too compared to the spring. Okay, and another thing very interesting is that we observe for the very first time too, the Mississippi kite individuals roosting in the campsite and in nearby areas. These observations were recorded through September, what was expected because this was the month where they were moving around more. And this was in the autumn of 2023. And we could record around 3,000 individuals in the surrounding areas of the campsite. Okay, so in conclusion, I could say that for the spring, we have very different numbers. In Tolima raptor count, we have 40 individuals, not that much. Well, excluding this year that was very, very different. And for Iguacitos, that is just one season, we have 900 individuals of Mississippi kites. Maybe we need more seasons of spring in this area to get to know more about migration in this area. And for the autumn in Iguacitos, Tolima, the average of Mississippi kites was around 336,000 individuals per season, becoming, well, the biggest migration in Colombia. And also Iguacitos is an important area, has roosting site for Mississippi kites. To let everything more clear, we can find this information here on the map that I was showing you before. And with our data, the conclusion also is that an important part of Mississippi kite migration is moving through Magdalena River Valley, that is right here in this area, for the autumn. And well, we don't know what is going on for the spring because in Central Andes and East Andes, we found not very great numbers. I mean, Central Andes and the Valley. But we do have the support of the community in this. We have a community network and we have in touch with them all the time through the internet, and they talk about the migration, the hunting reports, and also about roosting sites. They have been giving us very valuable information, but also about migration in general. And in this matter, well, we have been having records from spring, from Mississippi kites in other areas in the East Andes. So it could be possible that they are moving around in different routes depending on the season. We can say that we have an important amount on the autumn in the Magdalena River Valley, but for the spring, well, presumably could be through the East Andes, but we are not very sure about that. This is just a hypothesis. And that's why, to gain a more comprehensive understanding of the Mississippi kite migration in Colombia, further research is essential. At the same time, I want to emphasize that Central Colombia, that is all this area here, is a crucial region for raptor conservation because this area is impacted by illegal raptor hunting. So continued conservation efforts in this region are very important. These efforts can foster a positive and protective attitude among the local population toward raptors and nature as a whole. And that's why we continue our efforts with training, data collection, training of local people, not just on the Raptor ID, but also with the education programs, with the data collection of not just the counts in the spring and the autumn, but also about roosting and shooting reports, and also surveys and the community network, and also outreach and education activities. And these activities reach hundreds of people every season in Central Colombia. But also we have virtual programs that have been covering not only the people on the study area, but also in other regions of Colombia. So all this has been possible because the support of different organizations, also for our donors in GoFundMe campaign. So I would like to extend a thank you to all of them in this moment. And our aim is to continue our efforts, building links with national and international organizations, and try to have more funds to future season, and give continuity to all the activities, the training activities, also strengthening the education efforts, and maybe to have also tourism in the future. So if you want to be part of this effort, you can do it. You can scan our QR code to our GoFundMe campaign, and there you are going to find all the reports for each season and more information about it. And also, if you have any question or want to get in touch with us, well, here we have all the social media. And well, I want to let you with this video of Mississippi kite migration. And thank you very much. If you have any question, please let me know.
Esther, thank you so much. That was amazing. You just inspire me so much. All this amazing work. All right, I think we have some questions coming in. Let's take a look. Okay. Can you suggest where spring migrants might be concentrating? Maybe along the north part of the East Andes?
Could you repeat the question, please?
Sure. Can you suggest where spring migrants might be concentrating? Maybe along north part of the East Andes?
Yeah, well, that's the hypothesis we have, because all the information we have gathering from the community, because we have records from Bogota, that is in the Eastern Andes, and other regions in that part, in that mountain range. So it's very possible, but we need to go and research.
Sounds like some good questions to explore. All right, Esther, the questions keep coming in. Más preguntas. Okay.
Oh my.
Why was the timing so different in the two fall seasons?
Which one?
Um, okay, so she's saying the peak timing in September was very different.
Okay. Well, it wasn't that different if we consider that was September 23 and September 15.
Oh,
it
wait,
could be happen.
Disculpame. There, she's clarifying it. She's talking about 2022 and 2021.
2022 and 2021.
For September.
Let me check the information because okay. 2022. Oh, but we had for 2022, we don't have a peak of migration because we have just scouting. Maybe she's referring to the spring 2022.
All right. Well, thank you for checking. Okay, next question. How do you count when the sky is filled with so many individuals, like the video you showed?
Yeah, well, in that case, we cannot count. We have to wait that they have a formation. Mostly the raptors have this behavior that have this vortex, and they go up and then move around. Well, that's the behavior of the raptors normally, but with the Mississippi kite, it's kind of different because they are moving around, as I was saying, but they take like a moment to eat and move around. This could take a really long time, but at the end, they started to move up and then move forward. So in that point is that we can count.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right. Another question is, what lures all of these birds to the locations you identified? Is it climate? Is it food? Why are they going there?
Well, that's the question that we are trying to answer because, well, I think that is because the formation of the mountains, maybe it's easier for them to move around the valley because as we were saying before, the habitat that they use in the breeding season and in the wintering season too is like these kind of valleys. So it could be because of that. But we still need more information to get to know because could be a lot of different variables like temperature, the food availability, etc. Yeah.
Cool, thank you. And I personally have a question. You had mentioned that shooting is still a threat to, where these kites are really concentrating. And what do you think is the reason behind the shootings? Because I feel like understanding the intent and motivation for the shootings is what's at the heart of inspiring a change of behavior.
Yes. Well, it's something more cultural, like the people are aware about migration. I mean, the local people know that they don't know what kind of birds or anything, but they know that there is in a place and a moment in the year where they are going to watch all these birds. And so they just think like we have a lot of them, so we should try to eat them. Because, well, in the case of the area of Tolima Raptor Count in central Andes, the migration coincides with the lentil season. And in this time, the people cannot eat meat. So they cannot eat meat and they have this huge migration coming. It's like, okay, we can try that, you know? So they have been having this behavior because of that, but also they have all these legends, let's say, about that the meat can cure disease and all these kind of things that they don't have any fundament for thinking that, but they have these beliefs. So yeah, that's the main reason.
Thank you. That was really fascinating. Well, thank you so much. I feel like that's all the questions for now. Esther, it is always a pleasure when I get to connect with you across continents, across oceans. And I shared this with you earlier that I admire you so much. You are a force of
Thank
nature when it comes to raptor conservation and just in general conservation. You're a force of nature. So thank you for all of your passion and dedication and work, for raptor conservation. It's really a pleasure to know you and get a chance to work with you.
Thank
I,
you very much, Jamie. I'm
thank,
really happy to share all this information because it's very exciting for me. And so, yeah, I'm thankful for that.
Absolutely. And those of you watching, thank you so much for joining us. Remember, you can take direct action and help support Esther's projects that she has mentioned. If you didn't get to scan the QR code again, sometime in the next day or so, I will be sending out an email through TicketLeap with the link if you're interested in donating. And I always like to close with encouraging people to come to Hawk Mountain Sanctuary. There's always so much going on for everyone, any interest, any age. And here's just some fun things we have going on in the near future. Okay, let's see. Well, we still have a few weeks left of our summer nature camp program, so check that out. We have some camps in August. We have Moth Night coming up on July 20th. We have Appalachian Field Institute course, Appalachian Pollinators, Bees, Butterflies, and Plants on July 27th. We have Family Forest Fun on August 3rd. And our very popular Birds and Brew annual event on August 10th. That's always the great one. And then we have an outdoor expedition camp for youth entering 6th through 9th grades on August 13th. And then August 15th rolls around, and that's the start of our autumn migration count. And we are celebrating our 90th year this year. So thank you guys so much. And we hope to see you on the mountain again soon. That's it. Bye for now. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.